This is going to be very helpful in planning for myself on what teams I should be taking to Dark Dimension, because the first person has gone through. Looks like the name is Japan. Not entirely sure. According to Reddit, his name is Maku, but I don't know. Looks like we're just going to call him Japan. Now, he's gone through all the nodes in Dark Dimension 3, and it looks like it's quite a horrific task. And the reason why this is important is because we're going to be able to identify the star levels. We're talking about red star levels that are needed to go through this, the number of attempts, and then team compositions, and more importantly, how many of the mini uniques are going to be needed and the team compositions that are going to be optimal. But as more time happens and more things come into play and more people complete it, we'll have a better idea of what it's going to take to finish Dark Dimension 3 efficiently. Just like we learned that Star-Lord and Minerva makes things a lot easier. This is a different animal, and there's some questions that we're going to go through in this video of why was this node a lot harder than this node here, and so on and so on. So let's get into the data. And first things I want to just talk about is what were the red star levels that were needed to finish Dark Dimension 3. And quite simply, it is 5 and 6 red stars. And team compositions like this is Japan's arena team, and you can see the power levels there. 105,000 is a 6 red star, tier 14, and then 93,000 is going to be a 5-star. You can see that there with Black Bolt and Captain Marvel. Looked like they were mostly 6 and 5. I didn't see any 7s in his team composition, and there was a couple 4s. Now let's go and take a look at what teams are working inside of Dark Dimension 3. There's a lot of really interesting information we can see. First node is first node. The third and the fourth node, where it's going to get very interesting. The first 4 nodes, you could use any, that's right, any tier 14 character, and people are already one-shotting the first node using teams like these right here. So get your notepads down. These are going to be team compositions where people are able to one-shot the first node. Now the second node has 23 million HP, and the most damage anybody's done in one attempt on that particular node was 17.6 million. This was the team composition used by Fate's Fury. So at best, you're 2-shot that node. You'll be able to do it in 2 attempts. Now, this is where the data starts to become scarce after this, and we don't, unfortunately, not enough people have gone through it. Actually, I thought this was going to take a lot longer. But this node right here, 54 million. Someone's done 10 million, and there's the team composition that looks like all 6 and 5-star characters right there to do 10 million. So that is a minimum of 6 attempts. Now, the gentleman that was able to beat this and finished all of this 100% only did 4.38 million. Now, let's just say this. That was the best attack. So we're making a pretty big assumption that the best attack, there may have been several attacks that were 2 million or 1 million, or maybe they were just dead in the water. But the best attack has ever been was 10 million, and the best attack that Japan did was 4.38 million. So at best, that's 6 attempts, and possibly Japan had to do 12 attempts. And like I said, if you're not spending cores, that's 12 days. Now, this is where the data becomes scarce, and as time goes on, we're going to get better information. This was the team composition. Of course, this team right here, this is just like god tier characters. 5.92 million. Total HP for this node is 70 million. 12 attempts or 12 days. At best, probably double that. Be my guess. Now, this is where it chains up. The next 4 nodes are all going to be global. So you can only use global characters, and the team composition that he used was Scientist Supreme, Phoenix, Shuri, Falcon, and Ultron. This is a modified tech wing, kind of a tech wing team. A lot of people use teams like this inside of the mini bosses inside of U7. Phoenix, of course, is amazing. And 12.4 million. So that means that he had to 2-shot that. The next node right here, same thing, 19 million. And so best damage there was 4.3 million. So that was 5 attempts. And then the next node right here, 43 million. Best damage was 6.7, so that was like 7 attempts. And then the last node of the global has 56 million, and this probably was 6 attempts minimum. So I added all this up. Looks like it was a total of at least 72 attempts if played perfectly, which is not going to be the case. Let's just round up and double that number to 140 days, 140 attempts. Now, this is where I have some confusion. I don't know what happened here in the Cosmic. 4.2 million, able to one-shot the node. Looks like we've got Minerva. And this is the first time that he uses a skill character right here, Sif. And let's just skip over to that MSF PAL, which is a great resources for planning. Not a lot of good options for skill characters. And he's in the Cosmic. In the Cosmic, there's pretty much only 3 choices, but not a lot of good choices. Karnak, Gamora, and Sif. So I'm guessing that he used Sif because of the star level and because there was probably an abundance of skill materials. Now in global, there's some other choices. The interesting thing I should point out right here in this video is that Shield Trooper does not require any superior uniques. I don't know if that's going to work though. That might be good for getting started in Dark Dimension 3, but we'll have to see in a couple of weeks here whether people are actually able to clear the global nodes with the Shield Trooper. I'm not sure anymore. The other 2 choices I think could be Shield Medic and Nick Fury. I personally have a thing for Shield Medic because I think she makes Shield Coulson teams on defense, Alliance Wars, a lot more difficult to get through with Phoenix. If you can't clear the Shield Medic, you're just stuck. So this is where the data is interesting me. On nodes 9 and 10, he was able to one-shot it. 15.9 million. So, he was able to get 15.9 million on this node right here. And then this is where what I don't understand is the next node, which has 21 million. So it doesn't have a lot more HP. Max damage he was able to get was only 3.45 million, meaning that this took 6 attempts. Somebody in the comment section, I'm sure, will be able to figure out why. Mission 10 versus Mission 11. Mission 11 is just a lot more challenging, it looks like. And the same thing for Mission 12. Cosmic, 36 million. Best damage right there of 3.67. So that's a minimum of 10 attempts. Now, this is where, oh my God, City. And here's the team he used right here. Symbiote Spider-Man, Ms. Marvel, Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, and Iron Fist. A lot of sustain, not a lot of damage. Maybe there's enough damage there with Symbiote Spider-Man. There's a lot of assists there with Ms. Marvel. And he was able to one-shot the first node. That's fantastic. The next node, node 14, 8.1 million. So that means he was able to do that in 2 attacks. The next one, 13 million, doing the most amount of damage he did on this node was 3.78. So that's a minimum of 4 attacks. And the last node, it looks like he had a minimum of 6 attacks. So just using the optimal teams that we have today, and let's say he did max damage every single time, which is not likely, 72 attacks. My guess is that this was closer to double that. But what I'm hoping we find out is what are going to be the optimal teams for each node. I can't wait till more people start finishing Mission 3 and Mission 4 because right now 12 attempts was used by Japan to finish these using the teams that he did. 70 million. These are the tanky nodes. This could be some of the hardest stuff right here is this Mission 4. And right now we only have his data set. But as some of these other people that are currently inside of Mission 3 or start putting up damage numbers, we should be able to make an assessment of what's going to be the best team to go through these nodes. And then what I really want to know is in the global nodes, is a character like Shield Trooper going to be viable or usable? And because yesterday I was thinking, maybe I want to use Shield Medic. Now I'm not sure anymore because you can see how everything's lumped up right here, and there's not a lot of opportunities to use Mutant. Probably the only place to use mutants is here in the global, where you could use Mr. Sinister or Colossus. I don't really know how Colossus would do this. Not a lot of usable mutants in Cosmic and City. And then Bio, there's just so much Bio weighted up here down at the City. So, the two that could get away with Mystics would be Iron Fist and then also Ghost Rider. Maybe Ghost Rider would have fit in here as well. We're going to see tons of team compositions here in the next week, so you can start planning right now with this MSF Pal Dark Dimension 3, and then you could slip into the in-game and see what people are doing. What do you guys think? Are you excited about Dark Dimension 3? For me, there's no character, so there's no rush, but I definitely want to get in. I'm just a couple pieces short of taking my very first character to tier 14, which is going to be Phoenix. Probably have that done tomorrow. And then I can start using her in the arena as well. All right, guys. Thanks for watching and keep on gaming.